A lot of people are going to talk about the viewership numbers. We knew nobody was going to watch this. A lot of people are going to talk about how woke it was. We know Doctor Who is woke. I think the real story to come out of the Church on Ruby Road is just how deep Disney is into Doctor Who.
If you could choose one reason or thing that has meant Doctor Who has lasted for 60 years, what would it be and why?
I think that would be regeneration.
Tell me he didn't just say that.
That would be regeneration. Regeneration.
Why the f*** would he say that?
You can't hide your lying eyes.
The fact that the Doctor can change, and change into anyone. We've seen men doctors, we've seen women doctors, and that just means anything can happen. I think people love that. I think that's what's kept it going.
5 minutes later.
By generation, we discover, as an ancient myth of the Time Lords, the new body separates from the old body and both are left alive.
And your smile is a in disguise.
Why would they lie? Why would they do that?
By generation. It's a new thing. It's the 60th. Imagine how much fans love new things and will really rejoice when this happens.
If you could choose one reason or thing that has meant Doctor Who has lasted for 60 years, what would it be and why?
I think that would be regeneration.
Doesn't anyone notice this? I feel like I'm taking crazy pills.
By generation. It's a new thing. It's the 60th. Imagine how much fans love new things and will really rejoice when this happens.
There ain't no way to hide your lying eyes.
That's fucking crazy, man.
I hated it. It was boring, it was unnecessary, and most of all, it had zero to do with Christmas.
I don't know what I was expecting, but this was really boring plotting. I couldn't wait for it to be over. Ncuti Gatwa does not carry the role, but really the weakest link in all of this is what RTD has done. His script and his dialogue.
What's been the big sort of change this time around?
It's different. It's not that different.
One of the more striking things about this episode is that I knew I was watching Ncuti Gatwa.
Cause the Goblin King, oh the Goblin King, it's so good to meet you, you great big thing.
And that I wasn't watching Doctor Who. I knew that I was watching Ncuti Gatwa, who is a Rwandan who emigrated to Scotland and therefore can culturally appropriate a kilt. And then go on a dance floor with his kilt dancing with other guys. Not for one moment did I go, he's from Gallifrey, or he's a Time Lord, or this is a 1,000, 2,000, 3,000-year-old time traveler.
It really is the same show. Feels very...
I can see you're having a fun day. Meet my friend, she's Ruby Sunday.
Now, yeah, we did have that whole cringe song and dance Doctor thing.
Everyone has these fantasies. Do you know what people always say to you for 15 years? When are you going to do a musical episode? Ever since Buffy did that.
A room full of everyone who asked.
There's hope every day's a gift. Wishes can come true with so well. You work so hard.
And I do think I've been trying for a long time. I think Doctor Who lends itself very well to it.
There were several moments while watching the Goblin thing with Ncuti Gatwa and Millie Gibson where...
Whoa, I think I just figured something out, Davis. What? This sucks.
It's good to meet you, good to greet you, good to say how diddly did you.
Not one moment during any of that was my disbelief suspended. Was I within the story? Was I following Doctor Who? And again, it's got nothing to do with the fact that actually, that's not true. It has everything to do with the fact that he's gay.
This sucks more than anything that has ever sucked before.
Because that's not what the Doctor is. I shouldn't be looking at who's playing Doctor Who and going, he's the first this, and his sexuality is that, and he's from a country that exists in the world.
A Rwandan proverb
Why? Because the Doctor is an alien.
Really, you'd be stupid to clear out the icons.
That is, unless, of course...
or you might as well sit down and invent a brand new show.
This is a brand new show, which is exactly what it is. And then there's this whole muddled middle where we're sitting in an apartment.
What happened to the mum? Just can't cope, and the family is too
Whoa,
complicated
whoa,
for
whoa.
words.
So this little diverse baby's mom gave her up because, quote, she just can't cope.
I know Christmas is a stressful time, but it's not like this baby snuck up on her.
Some people like Millie Gibson. I don't have any opinion. It's too early to tell, and here's why. Starting out with a brand new Doctor with a brand new companion without a bridging companion, it's really kind of hard to do. A lot of the Doctors in the past, and primarily I'm thinking about Tom Baker with Sarah Jane.
I think it's starting.
Was a bridge from John Pertwee to the then newcomer Tom Baker. Of course, we have Rose with Christopher Eccleston that led into David Tennant. RTD, smartly I might add, took absolutely no one from the Jodie Whittaker era and put them in this new version.
Why would they do that?
I wish it wasn't true, but it is.
Bi-generation. It's a new thing.
It's got nothing to do with racism. It has everything to do with the tone and how this person was introduced. It went out of its way to remind you,
And it is a Rwandan proverb.
The identity of the actor.
A Rwandan...
Not that the actor was playing a Time Lord.
This is 2023. This is our lens. This is our eye.
As a matter of fact, there's only 3 male characters in the Christmas special.
You remind me of the babe. Babe with the power. Power of voodoo. You do.
One of them is a bumbling white cop in London who seems to be afraid of offending NCUTI GATWA.
That blue box over there. Now, if you don't mind, I just got snowman and I would like to go home.
And of course, NCUTI GATWA makes him look like an idiot. Because, of course, he does. I love how condescending the diverse gay immigrant is to the native Brit. It felt like a show on Disney I would have never watched, as opposed to Doctor Who.
A Rwandan proverb.
Other elements to the show, we've got Tony Stark tech. NCUTI GATWA pulls on these gloves that are apparently strength gloves.
Hold on tight. We got you. If you reverse intelligent gloves, you get heavy.
They make the same kind of noises that the Iron Man suit does with Tony Stark. Why? Because this is a Disney show. Why? Because Doctor Who was destroyed by Chris Chibnall and Jodie Whittaker. What do they have to lose by putting in Stark Tech in a show no one's watching? Finally, let's talk about the old lady. There's an old lady at the end of the episode that breaks the fourth wall and says,
Never seen a TARDIS before.
Now, this may kindle your memory because this was done in another Disney property. As a matter of fact, it was done by an older gentleman, someone who's very accomplished and who I have a lot of respect for. That would be Stan Lee.
What's the matter with you kids? You never seen a spaceship before?
Never seen a TARDIS before.
You never seen a spaceship before?
Never seen a TARDIS before.
Doesn't anyone notice this? I feel like I'm taking crazy pills!
Where do things go from here? The next time you will be hearing about Doctor Who, especially on Disney Plus, will be in late spring. It's going to be a huge, Huge marketing push. And I want you all to remember the viewership numbers. We know there's going to be an episode with the Beatles. We know that that episode is going to have a drag queen in it.
I'm Jinx Monsoon, and this is my costume for Doctor Who.
I know that's what everybody wants in Doctor Who, right?
So the best things for the kids.
We know that in season 1, the actor who played the prince in the live-action 2023 remake of The Little Mermaid,
As days and hours roll by, all I ever think about is you.
is going to fall in love with NCUTI GATWA.
Well, it feels the same to write it, but it feels like 2023.
And if you don't like it, you're a bigot. I don't know what's in RTD's heart. I only know what he says.
So the best things for the kids.
It's going to be really fascinating to see a show that for 60 years was about science fiction and going off and meeting aliens and fighting aliens and all those types of things. How that's suddenly going to become
Oh, you are way more fun than my last lawyer. I will kill for you, Megan Thee Stallion.
the Marvel Cinematic Universe equivalent of Harry Potter. Because that's what it sounds like RTD wants to do.
Imagine how much fans love new things and will really rejoice when this happens.
I'm Salty Traveling C. I hope you had a good Christmas. If I don't see you before then, I hope you have a good new year. You take care.